Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Rundown, where we talk about 2A news and conservative views. I will be your host today, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras. But as we all know, I do not do this program by myself.
That's right. My name is Mike Piwowarski, coming to you live from the East Coast, the coast with the most, from the co-host with the most here on The Rundown, 2A views, conservative news. And Craig, before we talk about tomorrow, how was your weekend?
It was very, very nice. It was kind of a little bit of a fall to almost winterish weekend, which made it actually very relaxing. Had a very good time just chilling with, close friends and family.
Very nice. Very good. Very good stuff. I was out for the last weekend hurrah for Oktoberfest here. I was able to hit all 3 days, the 3 locations, and it was a good time. I have to tell you though that I probably will be some time before I have another beer or some Oktoberfest beer, but I think it went well. So,
well, now as I recall, I mean, not that you don't drink beer, but beer's not your big thing anyway, except during Oktoberfest. And well, I guess it wasn't that long, huh?
I'm sorry, what? Yeah, like 12 hours is a long time. I mean, come on. Let's be honest with ourselves. So,
Always have to be honest with ourselves.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yep. But good times, good friends, good Oktoberfest, and
well, that is definitely always
see how
good
long
to
it
hear.
lasts.
Speaking of good friends, how about we give a quick shout out to our sponsors?
There we go. Yeah, let's say hello to our good friends over at Hitman Industries. That's hitmanindustries.net. Hitmanindustries.net. If you got yourself an AR in the past couple of years, you might have one of their barrels and don't even know it. Well, now you can buy from them direct for your next build or rebarrel the rifle you currently have. Hitmanindustries.net. California Republican Assembly. Listen, if you're out west there, you're behind the enemy lines, you should be looking them up every day to see where your votes should be going tomorrow to ensure you retain your freedoms. That's the California Republican Assembly. And then, of course, if you want some awesome tactical gear, combat gear, web gear, nylon gear, that kind of stuff, make sure you get your butts over to uscombatgear.com.
That's right, folks. These are our sponsors. These are the folks who bring us to you. And they do so in hopes that, we will bring you to them. So do us a favor. Go check them out. See what they've got going on. And, hey, if you like what you see, if you like what they got there, go ahead and spend some money with them. And then make sure that you tell them that the guys over at The Rundown sent you.
That's us. We're the ones. We said to say hey.
Yeah, tell them we said hi. Okay, maybe not.
I didn't say it like that. You can
don't
tell Craig
don't
said
say it like that. Okay, I will give you that one. We will not
Yeah.
say it. We will not say it like that. All right, let's go ahead and dig in to today's stories. Mike, there's a big thing coming up tomorrow, and I'm trying to remember exactly what it is. Do you remember what's so important about tomorrow?
Yes. It's the first day of the rest of your free life. That's what it is tomorrow.
There you go. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, it is election day. That's right. Tomorrow we will be holding an election for these United States. It's going to be at stake is not just control of the House and control of the Senate, but also many state houses as well as school boards. You name it. It's an opportunity. It's going to be an opportunity for those who are right-minded to actually take back or wrest back control of our government from the lefties, basically from the socialists. And the funny part about this whole thing has gotten to be the Democrats have realized that they really don't have any successes to run on. They can't run on the economy because they've destroyed it, all but destroyed it. They can't run on protecting communities because crime is rampant because of their policies. They can't, they on every single thing that is out there, they have nothing to run on. They have absolutely nothing to run on. So what they are now resorting to is fear. That's right, fear, which they always kind of had, but this time it's gone to an extreme. Like, for example, you have Howard Stern basically saying preserving democracy is the only effing issue on the table in the midterms, because somehow they have convinced people that if you are what's the word I'm looking for? If you believe in, individuals can make better choices with their money than can the government. If you believe that your 5-year-old should not be learning about fisting while at school, if you believe that, I don't know, criminals should be put in jail, their belief is that, then there's something wrong with you. Like, for example, here's one example. This is a woman from The View, who basically, I'll let her use the words, and you tell me what you think of it.
What's also surprising to me is the abortion issue. I read a poll just yesterday that white Republican suburban women are now going to vote Republican.
Why?
It's almost like roaches voting for Raid, right?
I think
they're voting.
Now, Mike, I think a few Republican or a few suburban white women. Why would a suburban white woman vote for a Republican in this election over a Democrat?
Oh, why would they?
Why would they? Yeah.
Well, because they're tired of making a bread with sawdust at this point, right? They're tired of having to ride their bicycles to work because they can't afford to put gas in their vehicles. How about you vote with your wallet? And that's what should drive you to vote this election, is vote with your wallet. Remember the people who told you couldn't go to work for a year in some places too, someplace still going on. Remember the people who told you couldn't send your children to school to learn. Remember who those people are when you stand up tomorrow and vote, because they say democracy's in the balance. How about they stole it from you the last 2 years? It is time to take back our country. And Stern, who, by the way, is worth about $650 million, him having the nerve to come out and tell you that democracy is on trial here, or is up for grabs, is the most, it's almost as funny as Howard Stern used to be, because he's
almost as funny as he used to be. Yeah. But Mike, the thing is that it once again, using rhetoric like saying that, democracy is the only thing on the ballot, because that's all the president had, by holding events, prime time media events where you're doing this. But then it gets even worse, because you've got Representative Jim Clyburn, who went as far as to compare that if Republicans took over, it was going to be like when the Nazis took control of Germany. Check out what he had to say.
For the country. Joining me now, South Carolina Congressman James Clyburn, the third-ranking Democrat in the House. Congressman, welcome back to Fox News Sunday.
Thank you very much for having me back.
I want to start here with some comments you made just a couple of days ago.
This is what happens in a country that follows what happened in Germany in the early 30s. This country is on track to repeat what happened in Germany when it was the greatest democracy going, elected a chancellor who then co-opted the media, and that's what's going on in this country. That is what will lead to the destruction of this democracy.
Congressman, you've repeatedly made comments.
Now, Mike, okay, first of all, let's be clear. It was not a democracy. Well, maybe let me clarify. It was a democracy, but literally what happened was when he took over as chancellor, they were failing the people. And what happened was that's how he was able to take control, was because basically they were like, we need someone strong, someone who can just take over, and we don't need to listen to the legislative branch. Now, mind you, I would think that someone like a Joe Biden, who has issued more executive orders than any president before him, and by the way, we've had those successfully challenged quite often. One would think he is more like trying to be the German chancellor than would any Republican.
Well, Greg, remember it's all about deflection, right? And first off, I like his Boogaloo shirt that he was wearing. That was pretty nice. A little blue boog shirt he had on. I think they just assume we're stupid. I really do, and we hear this coming out of the mouths of all of these lousy Democrats at this point. They say things like, they want to put an authoritarian in and take away our rights and push us back towards Nazi Germany. I'm sorry, did we just not? Who took control for 2 years? Again, let's bring this up one more time. Who stole personal freedoms away? Who took away individual freedoms? Who took away businesses working? Who took away the rights of people left and right? And they're still continuing to wrestle control away. Craig, this is them trying to keep the Republicans and the conservatives from taking office because they don't want to give up the control they've already stolen away from us. You literally have a party that wants to come back in and give the control back to the states, back to the individuals, and away from the political powers that have taken away and oppressed everybody in this country over the past 2.5 years.
Well, you hit the nail right on the head. And the truth is that Republicans have been talking about the issues. Because here's the thing. And this is the reason why Democrats are losing so poorly. Because to them, they want to say, well, January 6th. They want to say abortion. They want to say Donald Trump. And that's all they really want to focus on, because when it comes to the issues, crime, the economy, when it comes to our open borders, I mean, literally, you have had 2.5 million people last year just walked across our southern border. And by the way, those are the ones that we know about. It is beyond crazy for them to think. There's a reason why Latino voters are literally split 50-50 between Republicans and Democrats. There's a reason why they're saying 2 to 3 times more African Americans are going to vote Republican than have ever voted Republican before. That's 20 to 30% of the black electorate. I mean, that's huge. That is huge in comparison. But once again, it just goes to show you how bad a job the Democrats are doing. And the odd part is they don't get it, or they do get it and they realize they can't do anything about it.
They're in the period I like to call lie, deny, make counter accusations. That's their plan at this point, Craig. Lie, deny, make counter accusations. Well,
no, Mike.
What about
you hit? You hit the nail on the head. They're right now looking. I mean, that, by the way, leads me to our next story, which is our good friend. We all know Stacey Abrams, who has still to this day, by the way, is denying that she ever lost the gubernatorial election 4 years ago there in Georgia. Well, she is now having her hat handed to her. I'm going to be very polite with that one. She's having her hat handed to her. She is going to get whopped by Kemp, who is an governor there in Georgia. But she is going to get whopped. And so she is already out talking about how these election results are tainted because, well, he's stealing the election. She's already talking about voter suppression and talking about how people are being kept to vote. Now, Mike, this is in spite of record turnout so far in early voting in the Georgia elections.
Well, yeah, I mean, if we have all this early voting, Craig, clearly the voters have been suppressed. They've been suppressed. You know, they can't get out and vote. Oh wait, they've been voting in record numbers. Yeah, well, then it must only be the old fat white guys. You know, that's I'm sure what it is. Yeah, she is currently. I'm looking at the polls up to the minute. Some of the polls I've checked and trust. You know, she's 5 points down to Brian Kemp. So. And Herschel Walker up about the same over Warnock there as well in the state of Georgia. So, yeah, again, lie, deny, make counter accusations. That's what they do. You know, lie, deny, make counter accusations. It's not me. It wasn't me. Wait, Craig. Let's go over their issues again, right? January 6th. No, we don't care. We don't. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Abortion. Still don't care. Still don't care. Guns are bad. Guns kill people. No, don't care. I heard one of them yesterday, Craig, over the weekend. They even pulled out the no nukes. Like, really? You got to reach back that far to try and find a slogan that worked for you? It's amazing. They're so far in denial that it's going to be like a red tidal wave, like a storm surge red tidal wave that's going to come through. Unless, of course, we see some shenanigans like we saw last time.
Right. Well, here's the thing, and I'll go back to a title of a book I once heard. It was like, if it's not close, they can't cheat. So let's make sure it's not close.
There you go.
That's the best defense that we have, is making sure that this election is close, which means show up and vote. Make sure your like-minded friends and neighbors show up and vote. If you know some liberal Democrats who are going to vote Democrat, you don't have to encourage them to vote. Leave it on them to show up. But we got to make sure that we show up to the polls and not just assume that someone else is going to do it. We have to be the vote that gets them across the line.
Just do it.
All right, now, Mike. Now you know that Elon Musk is now in full control over Twitter, right? You now know the bird he's playing free bird now. We know the Twitter bird has been freed. But what's interesting, Mike, is that you had in some parts of media, you had these rumors about racist and anti-Semitic tweets that were being put out. Now, as soon as Elon took over, they were declaring that, oh yeah, now there's all these racist tweets and all these anti-Semitic tweets, and oh my God, he's ruining Twitter. But what's funny about it, Mike, is they actually released some data and information. He hasn't changed anything. There have been no changes to the algorithms. There's been no changes to the censor or to the censoring that normally would take place. No one in far has been added back to Twitter. It's amazing that nothing really has happened, but people are all like, they're all like real quick to claim that racism is now going on Twitter.
There was one change. We'll get to that later in the program, though. But yeah, it's amazing. All of a sudden, it's racist in here. We didn't do anything different. Nothing different happened here. Nobody's brought back in. We got all the banned Klansmen. We're gonna let them back in. All the banned racists. No, nothing at all. It's the same. If you're seeing more of it, it's because you're doing it because the same people are on Twitter now that were on the Twitter last week.
Well, and ultimately, what I like about him is that when people want to make it out like he is a conservative, he's not. He really isn't. He's very liberal on a number of things. He's what I like to call a free market liberal. But he's a libertarian. Yeah. Yes. The thing that gets me is quite frankly, when it comes down to it, he's a free speech absolutist. He's like the best way to defeat bad, evil, and racist ideas is with better, good, welcoming concepts, right? In other words, the way you defeat speech is with speech.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, it's correct. I actually ran across a book earlier today. I was someplace and there's some books sitting on the shelf, and one of them was the anti-racism, which was the start of critical race thinking, because it was 4 years ago. It was called anti-racism. Now it's called critical race thinking. And was just reading it, and I'm like, what a load of hooey is what this stuff is. So, yeah, that's. Yeah. You want to get rid of it? Let's get rid of it. We don't have to create another anti-racist division to get rid of racism. What little there is that still exists. Is it still out there? Absolutely, not denying it. But it's just there's a lot better ways than the liberal method. Let's just say it like that.
Well, and the only thing that I will say is that what social media has done and what the internet has done is it's taken what is a very, very small minority of voices, and it has allowed them to congregate in one area to make it seem like there are a lot of them, right? And in reality, when you compare them to everyone that is out there, even just everyone who's on social media, they're a very, very small minority of people, right? It's not like they're the majority. It's not like that's most people, but you have people who want to make it out like, oh, well, this is institutional racism. It's like, no, anytime you don't get your way, you want to call it institutional racism. Do me a favor. Shut up. There's your institutional racism.
Listen, it is the new town square. It is the new 6:30 or 6 o'clock evening news and 6:30 national news. It's what the internet world has become. It's what the Twitter sphere, what the Facebook has become. It is the place now where people go to gather. It just so happens, though, at the moment, there's idiots in the town square spouting off their nonsense, and everybody believes it.
Right. That's a good point. There's idiots in the town square. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, talk about idiots in the town square. How about idiots at the gun range? How about idiots at the gun range? All right. So let me just set the stage here. You probably know who Tim Ryan is. If you've been following national politics, he's running for Senate against J.D. Vance there in Ohio. Now, mind you, J.D. Vance was one of the candidates who got commercials funded for him by the Democratic Party because they thought that, well, hey, if we put up a MAGA candidate, he'll for sure lose to our reasonable Tim Ryan. Well, he's now is behind Tim Ryan, he's behind J.D. Vance, and now he's trying to get some street cred, some credibility amongst the 2A community there in Ohio. So he put out this commercial to try and promote his pro Second Amendment bona fides. So check this out.
Not bad for a Democrat.
All right, now Mike, you are the residence firearms instructor. Do me a favor and break down his shooting performance for me.
Okay, so I've got my fake gun, laser training pistol. It's not real, right? So he was sitting there and he's shooting, Craig, and the first thing I noticed was him doing this while he's shooting. Leaning way back. Boom, boom, boom. You know what that reminds me of? When other jackwagons pick up the 12 gauge and hand it to the little kid or the slight of build woman or man, and they watch them get thrown on their butt because that's somebody that has no idea how to hold a firearm correctly. This guy is standing there. What's he shooting at too? Some big old chunks of cardboard. Is that what it was? How about we put an actual target up? All right. So if you want to train, you can aim small, miss small, as opposed to going, look, I hit the side of the bar and I win. This guy had zero skill set, folks. I tell you right now, today or that day he filmed that, it's probably the first day he's ever picked up and shot a firearm. And then he walks away and he goes, not bad for a Democrat. Oh, not bad for a loser Democrat. That's for sure.
I think in the end, for people for whom this is an important issue, who believe in training in particular, because most of the people I know who are pro Second Amendment are very, very, they definitely believe in practice and training, right? And for them, it's very obvious to identify someone who is inexperienced. And the fact that he felt the need to go out and pretend like, oh yeah, I'm a regular guy shooting, number one, it is condescending. But then number two, it shows that he really doesn't know what he's talking about or what he's doing when it comes to firearms. And therefore, I definitely, and if I was on the fence, I would definitely not be voting for him.
Listen, this is like to Second Amendment people, to firearms people. I mean, when the moment, the instant this came on, Craig, every one of us knew, okay, poser, right? This guy's he has no idea what he's talking about. This is the equivalent of you saying, oh my God, I love Star Wars, and you go to a Star Wars convention dressed like Mr. Spock. Okay, that's how much this screams out to us. What a liar! This guy doesn't know crap.
Look, seriously, and if you're serious about it, you're gonna go as a Klingon.
Yeah,
you're gonna or a Ferengi, one of the two.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, at least
go big or go home. Go big or go home.
Goes a big. Yeah, something. Yeah.
Oh my, but yeah, no, this is, I got a feeling, man, and I'll go back to this. Remember, once again, J.D. Vance was one of those candidates because Democrats spent $30 million promoting MAGA candidates between the Senate and the House. And that doesn't even include money that was spent at the state level, right? Between the House and the Senate, they spent $30 million. And then they spent a bunch more for local elections. And the number of those MAGA, and I'm saying MAGA because they were running against establishment Republicans. Whether those establishment Republicans were conservatives or not, these were the candidates who they felt because they supported Donald Trump, because they raised questions about the election. Well, there's no way people are going to support them. And now they're kicking their butts in the polls, and they're probably going to wind up winning.
Living for free, and they had 42 million Democrats that routinely go out and vote. Living there. This guy.
Living there.
But between that and what are we at, $6 a gallon gas now? Oh, by the way, I don't know how it's gone there in California, Craig, but in the last week here, gas has jumped up another 40 to 50 cents in Florida. So I do want to say to the Biden administration, bold move the day before the election. Bold move. Way to show them.
I have to say that gas prices in California have actually come down. And the reason why they've come down is for two reasons. One, we've switched over to our winter blend, which doesn't have all of the requirements that we're now using normal gas like the rest of y'all. So that's number one. Number two, we had a number of refineries that were offline here in California that made our new special gas, our special blend, right? And well, now one, they're back online, but number two, we're now not requiring the special blend. So we've actually seen gas prices come down here in California.
Do me a favor, can you say special blend again?
Special blend.
There you go. I love it. Again, we've gone up 40 to 50 cents here in the last week before the election. I think it's a brilliant move. I really do. I think it's a brilliant move.
I think it'll help because you know what? Nobody cares about gas prices. Everybody cares about abortion.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right. Oh, yeah.
Abortion in January 6th. Folks, that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Yep,
you keep right on believing that, Democrats. All right. Now, you Democrats, do me a favor. Look away. Cover your ears, Democrats. Republicans, nobody cares about abortion. No, that's not the issue.
That's a good one there.
Yeah. Let's move on to our parting shots.
Twice on Wednesday. Do it twice on Wednesday, Democrats.
Yes, there you go. Democrats, make sure you show up, vote twice on Wednesday.
Yep.
All right, moving on. Once again, people were all a Twitter. The internet was all a Twitter over Elon Musk taking over and all of these liberal Democrats declaring that they're going to leave Twitter and all of that. Well, one person claimed that they actually had their account suspended. And in fact, she's a liberal comedian who did, in fact, have her account suspended for being an imposter. And here you have breaking news. This is from Benny Johnson. Kathy Griffin, you remember she's the one who had the thing of Trump's head, was holding up Trump's head like he had been cut off. It says, breaking, Kathy Griffin has been permanently suspended from Twitter for impersonating Elon Musk. She had created a page that was called Elon Musk. Now, mind you, they have a rule. You can do a parody page or a mocking page, but you've got to note it that that's what it is. She had not done that, so the account got suspended, right? But then Elon Musk replied to this tweet. He said this tweet, and he said, actually, she was suspended for impersonating a comedian.
That's a little better than his let that sink in joke anyway. So,
dude, man, when you have Elon Musk type money, you can keep making jokes till one is funny.
Listen, I would give Dave Chappelle the job of his lifetime. You know, Dave, hold this phone, and I'm going to call you for smart butt comments, smart aleck comments. That's all you're going to do is give me one. That's your whole job.
Exactly.
$1 billion a year. Do that for me, you know?
Exactly. May I make him your director of communications? He will respond to all mean tweets.
Hey, Craig, tell me. Listen, I know we got a couple more left, but I've had an idea for Twitter, and now I like how Twitter is with Elon in charge, but everybody's still complaining about the being offensive and all that stuff. So I'm thinking about a new format. It's like Twitter, very much the same way, but instead of Twitter, it's Toretto. You could just come on and say whatever you want.
You guys, Toretto.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, you have to curse in every tweet.
No, you do. You have to be like, listen, I support what the president has done. Monkey balls.
I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a good one. So all these people, you saw all these people over the weekend talking about they're leaving Twitter, and they tweeted about it.
Yep.
Well, that's what this one is. I'm leaving Twitter, but first I'm going to tweet about leaving Twitter. Then I'm going to stick around and see what everyone thinks about me leaving Twitter.
Yep. Yep. I love that one. Yeah. My common response to that one is, Twitter is not an airport. You do not have to announce your departure.
No, you do not. No, you do not. And this last one, Mike, is in honor of last Friday when we had our conversation about a particular topic of the second pandemic of the millennium, shall we say, and that was monkeypox. Well, tonight on Unsolved Mysteries, what happened to monkeypox? I wonder who remembers Unsolved Mysteries. I mean, am I dating us?
Yeah, it's Robert Stack. Who remembers him from anything but Airplane, right?
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. Sir, it was a phenomenal afternoon. Good conversation. But it's about that time to give a quick shout out to our sponsors.
It is. Let's say hello to our good friends over at Hitman Industries. That's hitmanindustries.net, hitmanindustries.net. Rifle calibers, pistol calibers, whatever you need for your AR barrel builds, AR rifle builds, and pistol builds. The California Republican Assembly, make sure you go there. Listen, it's crunch time. You want to see who you're going to be voting for tomorrow. Go them. Check them out, right? And then, of course, we have some awesome combat gear, tactical gear, web gear, nylon gear. Go to see our good friend Scott over at uscombatgear.com.
That's right, folks. Once again, as I always say, they bring us to you so that we can bring you to them. Go check them out. The links to their websites are in the description to this program. Check them out. If you like what you see, spend some money with them. Tell them that the guys over at the Rundown sent you. On that note, we are done for this fine Monday Fun Day Gun Day. Please make sure that you get out and vote tomorrow. Hopefully, all of you will have voted by the time we see you tomorrow. But if not, we'll make sure to remind you because we want to have some good news to report on Hump Day when we start talking about the elections. So with that,
I got my FJP shirt ready to go. I'm going to vote tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, so with that, we're done, and we will be back mañana.
Olé.